Welcome.
Do you want to give it a few minutes in case anyone else joins, or just go ahead and kind of get started?
I think we had about three people signed up.
Okay.
I'd say I think we're good to get started.
Okay.
So welcome everybody. Thanks for coming out. I'm Mark from the Morton Grove Public Library. Today we have Jordan Laborde from A to Z, which is one of our digital resources, one of our databases that can be used to find new customers and do all sorts of neat kind of reference things. So uh, he's going to be doing the presentation today. Yeah, I look forward to seeing what he has to say. So I'm going to hand it over to him. Thanks for doing this today, Jordan.
Thanks, Mark. Hi, everybody. My name is Jordan. Looking forward to walking everyone through the database today, demonstrating how we can impact and assist your patrons as well as the library. I'm going to be walking through the database. Also plan to have kind of a Q&A session at the end of the session. If there are any questions, feel free to save those for the end. Right now, you're looking at AtoZdatabases. So we do provide a database that was designed to find information on millions of businesses, people, and jobs throughout the United States. We are providing updated, verified information to assist a few different main patron groups, the library. One of those would be your job seekers, so those who are looking for ways to find open positions, research a company, work on their resumes, cover letters, and of course, hopefully land that job. We'll also talk how we can assist your local business community. That's going to include sales professionals, owners, entrepreneurs, local organizations like your Chamber of Commerce, economic development agencies, and how they can find new customers, grow their business, use this as a marketing outreach tool. Also help with any researchers, those that are building models, looking for just kind of research information on businesses or people. And finally, libraries. So we can show you a few different ways today on how friends, foundations, and libraries use the tool to find and target charitable donors, as well as maybe grow cardholders populations. So everything that you see today is included in a subscription. So you do get access to all these features, both available internally at library locations as well as externally through the web page. Now, before I go through a few examples, I want to talk a little bit about the data that powers the tool. Up here at the top, we do have a section dedicated to our data quality. Each database giving you more descriptions here on where this information is coming from, how it's compiled, and how often it's updated. When it comes to business information, we're one of a few companies in the United States that are known to be an original source data compiler. What that means is kind of from start to finish, we're adding, updating, maintaining this database, and then passing monthly updates to the product. What we do a little bit differently than some other providers out there in the marketplace is we'll actually verify the data before promoting it into the platform to help ensure a higher level of accuracy. With that verification process, we're going to be making telephone calls, verifying that way. We're going to do web mining, search engine integration to scour the web, see what the web has collected, how it matches to our data, and finally a national change of address and NCOA process to find any businesses that have been moved from one location to another. So each database below, scroll down, give you some more clarification there in those areas. And then on the right, you can click on this area, more of a description, accuracy, as well as that update cycle for each database. When it comes to business information, you should expect a 90 to 95% level of accuracy when you're looking at the business name, address, phone, and the industry of the company. Now, when you're focusing on other fields of the information, that information could be a little bit lower, like specifically executive information. That should be somewhere in your 65 to 75% level of accuracy, just because executives are going to transition turnover at a higher rate than a business would then indeed turn over. So those are going to be a little bit lower, but we will talk a little bit about that data collection process as well as ways that patrons or staff could bring information to our research team's attention to look in, verify that information, update it accordingly. Now, when we design this interface, the goal is to provide as much information as possible, but put it into an easy to use, user-friendly format for your patrons. A lot of the feedback that we collected was patrons were looking for quicker search options to find a business, a job, or a person. So you'll find those here at the top of your screen. These would be your quick search options. So if you know what business, job, or person you're looking for, you can quickly find it. So I'm looking for a company. I'm going to type it in. If I know that city or state, you can also leave that, you put that in there as well, or you can leave it blank and just be broad, search all companies matching this name. So I click search, see 12 results for Tenneco throughout the United States. You'll see the way the results are sorted initially is based on revenues. So it's going to bring back those large headquarter locations first. If you wanted to, you can sort by these columns. So that will sort based on your needs, as well as a sort button here at the top, sort by 3 different methods. This last column can also be customized. Right now it's on the corporate family tree, so that allows you to link to the headquarter or the subsidiary of a record. This is going to be more of your hierarchy to see all those branches, subsidiaries. Down arrows kind of shows you that it's the headquarter and you want to point to any of the branches and subsidiaries. Up arrow shows that you want to point to that headquarter, so it would go to that headquarter profile. But you can click on this column, add in titles, zip codes, employee counts, has the record been verified, but initially we'll be on that corporate family tree or selection. Now, clicking on a company name opens up that detailed profile. So once you find the record you're looking for, you can click on it, see all the data we've collected. On the left, you can jump to each section of the database. We know where they're located, phone numbers, contacts, websites, how many employees they have, revenues, when it was opened, is it public or private, credit ratings for each company, job postings. So to get live updates, we did partner with Indeed, being the largest job aggregator out there in the marketplace. You can view all the company's jobs or just scroll through those pages to see those different postings. SIC, NAICS codes, the lines of business classifications to help group businesses into a particular industry. A lot of your users will search by these codes to find companies that share one of these lines of business. It's also helpful to kind of see all these on a profile, get a better understanding of what the company does. You'll find these information icons throughout the database to help guide any patrons or staff. If there's something they're not familiar with, click on those icons. You can get some more clarification there. Description of the company, other important information. You'll see when that record was last verified by our research team. Our goal is to verify every business in the directory once per year. A little over 16 million verifications completed there by the research team. And then a news feed. So is Tenneco in the news? You can see those results by date. Click on those headlines, takes you directly to those articles. Hours for the company, QR codes, quick way to scan that image, captures the executive contact into your phone. Competitors in the area, so you can link to those businesses. Revenue trends, employee trends, hover over to get those values. You'll have the closest businesses nearby, expenditure categories, and then our executive directory. So one advantage you're going to find in our tool is going to be the presence of executive email addresses. This is really valuable for a lot of your users and businesses that are using this for marketing purposes. A lot of businesses are transitioning to more of a digital strategy than kind of traditional print marketing strategies, postage. This becoming more and more popular. So you'll have those executive contacts, titles, as well as the department. The email, if available, will be found right underneath that contact name. To capture these, you can copy and paste directly from that directory to capture all those emails completely free. You also have the option to put it into a print PDF document. Those will capture for you as well. You can click on them. It will open up into your default email provider. But it's going to be the only piece of information that we provide that can't be downloaded directly into an Excel spreadsheet. All the rest of the information could easily be downloaded, printed, or emailed from the screen. You do have the ability to customize this interface from each individual user perspective. So if there's pieces of information you don't need access to, you can minimize those windows. You can also drag and drop the layout. So for example, maybe someone's looking for those executive contacts. They want those at the top of their screen, drag that up to the top. As long as I'm signed in, active in my session, that's going to be saved throughout my searching. But that's just if you know exactly what company you're looking for, type it in, find it. If you wanted to download, print, or email any of this information, you can also do so directly from that profile. That's just if you know exactly what company name you're looking for. On the job search, Here you can search for a particular title, a keyword, a company to see if they're hiring. You can also use any of our popular categories to find those. I'm going to look for a customer service category. I'm going to put in our zip code. And we'll do a default 25-mile radius of that location you put in. Inside your advanced settings, you can limit or expand that range. Maybe enter a salary estimate or some more of these filters. We did choose to partner with Indeed, being the largest job aggregator out there in the marketplace. So it's a great search to run because it's going to allow you to search through Indeed's job database, but then also match up to our executive and company information all in one search. We've got 26,000 results, so we could certainly limit that range if we wanted to make that more strategic to our area, kind of filter that down. But we can select the jobs that we're interested in individually there on the left, clicking those boxes. If you select next to job title, it will add up all the records in that page. You do have the ability to add up to 1,000 records per search here with A to Z. You could select up to 40 pages of results, click email, send all those job postings directly to yourself. As you're looking through some of these positions though, you can go ahead and kind of go page to page to find those positions you're looking for. Once you find one you're interested in, click on that title, takes you to Indeed. You get those pay, responsibilities, job types, qualifications. If I want to apply for the job, I can do so right here. But if I'm not familiar with Currency Exchange International, that's the real value of our database, is allowing patrons to link right over to that business. So they don't have to search websites to kind of pull that information themselves. It's already compiled. We see they have 2 locations there in Chicago. We do have a key contact listed. We know when they opened, where they're located. We can go to their website. If they were hiring other positions, you could see them right on this page. If we do want to work in this type of industry, currency exchange, here's a listing of other companies in the area that do similar lines of business. You can see if they're hiring. We know it's headquartered in Orlando. Maybe good to know for our interview. And then seeing positive trends for revenues, employees trends going upwards, that's typically good indicators of future employment. So having all that information in one place, hopefully that better helps your job seekers. We also provide some cover letters, resume assistance tools. You'll find a link here directly to those cover letters, as well as more information in our career resources tab. So this is content generated internally to help you prepare, apply, or interview for the next position. Looking at preparing, we'll summarize ways to summarize strengths, weaknesses, summarizing skill sets, or finding the right company to work for, beat the competition out there. You can go through some of these strategies. Applying is where you're going to find those resumes, cover letters, templates, and examples. These download into any default word processor or Google document. You've got chronological, functional, plain resumes, 3 cover letters, and a reference sheet. You can look at that example, make sure it's the format you're looking for. If it is, click on that template or document. What we found working with patrons, it seemed the hardest part of that resume process is typically formatting. So we've already completed that for your users, very simple and straightforward. So you would just open up your document, enable editing, fill out your brackets, no fees for saving, printing, or anything like that. It's very straightforward there. Same goes with the cover letters and reference sheets. In the last step of interviewing, we'll have some questions, interview videos, and a follow-up thank you letter, and play an example. The last quick search is finding a person. So maybe some reference questions are coming up from time to time. Someone's looking for contact information on an individual. Think of this kind of like an online white pages type directory search. So here we can search for an individual in an area. It can search for both businesses, executives, as well as residents. So it will be on both categories initially. If you did want to make that strategic to a consumer or a business, there is an option to choose either executives or consumer contacts. We see it did search both. I found Ron Richards at a company called Richards State License Tree. I can open up that record, see if Ron is the owner. Does Ron have an email contact? Here are your residential records. It does have nickname searching for finding Ronnie, Ronald, different variations of Ron. Clicking on a profile, this is what the information you would find on a consumer. You would have that name, address, phone, county, demographic information, estimations for household incomes, home market value, census data, and any nearby neighbors. You can also type in by a phone number. So this will be kind of a reverse phone lookup, finding if it matches to a business or a person. Those are your quick searches if you know exactly what you're looking for. Now, down here below are more of the advanced databases that can be really useful for that local business community. Those sales professionals, owners, really anyone who's looking to conduct marketing or outreach to businesses or people are going to get started in one of these databases. Looking at your business database here on the left, you can click Get Started. The same thing goes if you click the advanced search here in the quick search. That's going to open up all this criteria on the left side of the screen for us to really drill down into specific areas. So when businesses are searching for other businesses to contact, they're usually looking at a few main areas. Number one being geography, where are all these businesses located in a certain area? So you can be broad and say you want entire states, or you could say cities, counties, zip codes. You can even draw shapes on a map to outline those areas. So just quickly, I want to identify my area. We're going to select the city. We have 1,259 companies there in Morton Grove found in the database. The next biggest thing is, what do the company do? What line of business are they associated with? Do you want to find a listing of all the landscapers, car washes, libraries, whatever it might be? You can find that by their industry. So a lot of power users might know specifically what the SIC or NAICS code is for that industry. You can enter in those 2, 4, 7-digit classifications. You can search through our tables to find those codes or add those to your search. But primarily the way it's going to be utilized by a lot of patrons, the easy way is a search by keywords. So selecting this category allows you to type in an industry. So we'll go ahead and find that code for you. So for example, I want restaurants. So I can be broad and select that entire category, but now you can see all those various subcategories that are relational as well. A lot of patrons or staff might not know how granular or specific all these categories can go. So you can kind of type in those keywords, see all those various possibilities. You know, for example, if I wanted gluten-free restaurants, you can find those industries. You know, if they sell hot dogs, even smaller likelihood, but we can see if that exists. Same with all those various types of markets out there. So for example, maybe we do just want to do a quick search on those restaurants. Update 54 restaurants are found in Morton Grove. Click search to view those 54 listings. You can also focus on industry groups. So this makes it even more broad. You can say, I just want manufacturing categories, or you can open up, expand these windows to find that full classification you're looking for. So you can even get that into even more granular. Who makes carpets and rugs, all the way down to who makes automobile floor coverings. You get that much detail. After that's been added, usually the next biggest thing is size. So how many employees they have, what are the revenues? Are you better served marketing to small, mid-size, large corporations? You can segment based on size. And then are you looking at contact? So business name and executives allows you to search by titles. So this is going to just find owners related to a company. Do you want to search for a specific name? Do you want to know if it has an email present? So this will help those users that are looking for emails, make sure they're flagging only records that contain executive emails. And some of the additional criteria you can add in so you can filter further. We can find women-owned businesses, public-private, are they a franchise, all the way down to say how many computers do they have in their offices. After you've added in all this criteria, you'll click search to view that data. Now, this is typically where your users are going to start downloading, printing, or emailing the data from the platform. A lot of times they want to download it into Excel, making it easy for them to create mailing labels, postage, or import that information into their systems to call or reach out to these businesses or executives. So we allow you to tag up to 1,000 records per search. You can also change your records per page count from 25 to 100. This is really helpful if you are working with some users downloading in more bulk quantities. That's going to really speed up their searching 4 times in terms of how many records they can tag per page. It used to take 40 clicks to capture 1,000 records. Now it only takes 10 with that 100 records per page. You could add up all 10 pages, click download, print, or email. Once you do that, you can choose your format. You can also customize the fields that are included. You can pick and choose exactly what fields you want access to. You can see just how much information is available there on a business. Same type of customization there for printing or emailing. You can visualize the data by mapping, graphing, or doing a data matrix. So we can map our results, see pinpoint locations, key signatures on a map, density of businesses or people. Data matrix will tally, giving you more estimations on different categories, what they're attributed to. And then the graph will put that into a pie chart or a bar graph based on revenues, employees, industries. You can choose between those selections above. Here we can change our graph, easily download, print, or email any of those images. And this data is all getting updated there on a monthly update cycle, passing those updates. You will see on the right, Save Search button. This is available for patrons who create an account with us. Patrons aren't required to, but they do have the option to create a Save Searching account. Up here at the top, you would see New Save Searching once you're authenticated with the library. Patrons would just create their username and password, enable them to save 10 searches to their profile. So very helpful if you are building very detailed searches. You don't have to rebuild that criteria each time you come into the database. Residential information, so more business to consumer style marketing or outreach, even helpful for entrepreneurs thinking about starting or locating a business. Maybe you want to do some surveying first to see what type of interest there might be in your product or service. We do include what's called interest, hobby, and lifestyle information. This is based on buyer behavior data. It comes from a few different sources. One would be magazine subscriptions. We also look at warranty card purchases and credit card or credit card transactional information. So a few examples there, you might have somebody in your household that subscribes to health and fitness style magazines. Maybe that shows your household has interest in health and fitness categories. You might have a line of credit at a local home improvement store in your area, doing some home projects, might match you up to home improvement or do-it-yourself living. Or maybe you have a credit card with an airline or a hotel chain. Maybe that shows you have interest in traveling. That could group you into one of these categories as well. But really valuable for those businesses to better use that targeted marketing information. This search I'm going to show you is our map-based search. So this allows us to integrate with Google Maps. And here we can type in a city, state, or a zip code. Click to zoom into that area. We can change map views or satellite views. We can zoom in, zoom out of these areas. We can draw our own shapes, define radiuses or drive routes. Maybe we're thinking about locating a business somewhere in this area. We're going to make a radius and just find every person who lives in this shape. So 0.76 miles, 11,129 people are in this shape. Now I'm going to close out of that. And we're just going to look for people using those interests and hobbies. So I'm thinking about starting a dog or a cat boarding facility, or maybe my business is already established and I just want to survey the area. Using these interests, I'm going to want to know who owns cats or dogs, and do they travel? Are they going to board their pets more often with us? So we're looking for traveling pet owners in that shape by update. I now know there are 1,027 people in that shape that own cats or dogs that also enjoy traveling. We can segment even further by those ages or genders, incomes, home market values to really drill down and find that target market you're looking for. Clicking search allows you to view that information where we can start downloading, printing, emailing, getting ready to send out postage or marketing messages to these individuals. One thing to note is inside of your profiles, you're not going to find us disclosing what your interests, hobbies, and lifestyles are on your profile. We suppress that information on a profile due to privacy concerns. You'll also find that all records, both business and consumer, have a data feedback button. This is really useful for patrons or staff if you do run into a record that looks like it needs to be updated, verified, something needs to change. Let's say a business recently changed phone numbers or an executive retired. You can always bring that information directly to our attention. So this goes right to our research team where they can get that data, verify, and update. It will take 45 to 60 days to get those updates past the database. Also useful if you're working with a patron or a staff member that has any privacy concerns. You'll find that all records have a button to remove your information from the platform. So if there are any concerns, you can click that, fill out your information. That will be suppressed within that 45 to 60 days as well. Now, I want to show you as well how our customers utilize this from a foundation or a marketing perspective. So what we do is we teach how to just, of course, outline your district and your communities. So we're just going to select the city here. And then we're going to use those interests and hobbies to target those people who are donors, particularly charitable donors. And then if they enjoy reading, that's even better. We're going to look for audiobooks, general, science fiction, I think are good categories for us. Maybe we want to go after a certain segment of income. You know, we're going to look at $150,000 annually and above. Now you have 1,354 people in the city that do fit that level of income that are known to be charitable donors who enjoy reading. If you're going to send out a flyer to them, you're probably going to want to do one per address. So location unique is what you'd want to select there. One per address will save you on postage, so you're not mailing to multiple households. Now you have 530 households that would match that criteria. So it would take you one quick download with us. Maybe you want to do some cross-referencing. Who's a card holder, who's not. Maybe it's a good idea to do some targeted marketing to some of those individuals. New businesses and new movers are getting added weekly. So getting an idea of what new businesses are opening up in an area within a certain time frame, what people are moving into town. If you think about the new movers database, this is really useful for lots of different types of businesses that are going to want to conduct outreach right when someone comes into an area. If I own a landscaping company, I'm an insurance provider, or maybe even a library, I might want to conduct some outreach to those who just moved in to learn about my services, maybe gain a membership. So same type of geography selections, we can go back. So we're just going to look at the city. Now we can look at a time frame, anywhere from the last week to the last year. You can also pick your own start and end date. So we're going to look at everyone who moved in the last 3 months. There have been 196 people who moved into town. Now we can also factor in a move distance. This is helpful if you don't want to market to somebody who just moved next door. They might already be familiar with your business. Let's say we want people who move 10 miles or more within those 3 months. Now you have 43 people who do match that distance. The neat thing about this is you'll actually see that distance information. So this individual is 1,786 miles away. They moved into the area. The new businesses, first, we're going to go ahead and flag this, the new business, since we're getting that information from Secretary of State filings, new utility, phone, internet connections. So as a business establishes a new location, usually they set up that infrastructure with those phone and internet lines. We get information in our feeds. We then go ahead and verify, is it indeed a new business, or are they just changing phone providers or a new location? That's going to be kind of our first step of verifying if this is indeed a new business. Once it has been verified here, we will promote that record into the 30 million businesses and executive database. But the records here can be searched anywhere from the last week to the last year. We can go back to find those new businesses. Healthcare providers is something applicable to all members of your community. It doesn't specifically need to be a job seeker or a local business to get some value here in the database. Anyone who's looking to find the closest doctor, dentist, specialist can do so within their area. I would recommend patrons using maybe a radius around their address or their zip code to find those closest providers nearby. I'm going to do a 2-mile radius of the zip code. We can choose any of these specialty contacts, SICs, so just choose one of these categories, or you can search by keyword. Specialty type allows you with some more specialized options. I'm going to look for optometrists, so we select that category. I update 17 are found in that 2-mile radius. Click search to view those listings. Now, when we click on one of these, this is what you'll find on a record: name, gender, specialty, any office or address information. Now, if you haven't seen it yet, we did pass a new update in the past week. So last week, we did add a closed business database to the module here for all of our subscribers. So it was a popular request from our users So it's another way for you to search for a business. Let's say you search for a business here, didn't find any matches. We only are carrying active-based businesses from more of a marketing outreach perspective, but now you do have another section to verify. So if you weren't finding it in one, you can come here, search for that business name, see if it is indeed closed. We can go back and see if it's closed anywhere within the last 2 months, all the way to the last 8 years. We're carrying that data. Helpful from an entrepreneurial perspective as well. Maybe before thinking about starting your business, you might want to do some more investigation or research and see how many businesses in that industry have closed in that area in a certain time frame. So you can select your area, choose your industry. For example, let's go back and select the city. I want to see every business that has closed in the past 5 years. And then I'm going to look at the industry keyword, and I'm going to search for restaurants. They were thinking about starting a restaurant. We see there's been 12 restaurants that have found closed. Now we have those locations. Click on one of these. You'll see when it was opened, when it was indeed verified to be closed, October of 2018. You'll still get that like legacy information, such as how many employees they had, what was their last revenue. So hopefully that information is helpful for those entrepreneurs. Universal is just a way to search both the business and consumer databases simultaneously. So if you are looking for both businesses and people in a certain area, this just allows you to choose your geography, search both databases. Another way we're saving patrons time when they're searching. Really quickly, I also want to touch on an update that's coming here in the next few weeks. So at the end of the month, we're going to be releasing another major upgrade to our executive database. So right now, we currently carry a maximum of 20 contacts per business. But with our update, it's going to allow us to find more than 20 contacts per business and actually source in all contacts per company. We currently are carrying around 30 million executive contacts in the database, and that's going to be going up to close to 60 million individual contacts. So it's going to allow a portal for you to click to see more executives and then source in all those various titles, departments within that company. So another way we're really going to kind of further that advantage in the marketplace of providing free executive contact information, including emails to your users. So this has been one of the most popular requested features that we've received over recent years. This has been in development in the works for a little over a year now. So we're pretty excited to get this released to the product next month. We do great things with training and support. One of those is live chat. So your patrons or your staff can always chat with one of our experts here live Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Central Time. If you have specific questions, you need some search assistance, please feel free to reach out to one of our agents here. We're also holding live training webinars Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 10:30, 2:30 Central. These are free for patrons or staff to sign up for at their leisure. They can sign up for these webinars for free. If you don't have time for a full webinar, there are just quick introduction videos to get you what you need. Those can be searched by name. Let's say we want the job searches, search that, brings back those 3 videos. You do have access to your own account to keep track of usage, authentication information, update logos, request material. This is where patrons would see saved searches. So if they created an account, they would have that saved in with their username and password. Allows you to save 10 searches at a time. And you can simply review or execute your searches from this screen. I know it's a lot of information. Thanks for bearing with me there. But happy to answer any questions if anyone had any questions today.
I did. You actually answered it, but I still wanted to kind of just point it out, just as a way of feedback, was
Yeah.
that I would do a search business, maybe come up with, whatever number. Let's say I came up with 10 businesses, click on the first one, would say, oh, that's good. Let me go back to the list of 10. And it took watching you to find where the return to results icon is, because
Yeah.
it's kind of over to the right. and I kept going all the way back to the beginning and having to re-enter whatever it was.
Oh
So
no,
that
okay.
was a question I had coming in that you covered, but just, kind of as a way of feedback that it took me this to realize that that's where it was and that's what it does. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that has that, but otherwise, this was very helpful because in using it not all that often, and now I've got, reasons to use it a bit more, but you're drilling down and all that was, just to say it was very helpful. So thank you.
Good. Yeah, thanks for that feedback, Dave. I'll mention that as well in our weekly feedback and development meeting to see if there's a way we can make that more noticeable.
I've just got a quick question. I noticed so I mean I'm not super up to date on all the businesses in Morton Grove. Now I noticed that when you did what was it? The closed businesses that it listed Starbucks. I know that there is a Starbucks in Morton Grove that that moved locations recently. Do you
Yep.
happen to know if if in the closed I don't one might have shuttered that I'm not aware of, but I know one moved. It moved like a block.
No,
Um,
that's a good question. Yeah, I was running some of those examples earlier and I
mhm.
noticed that and I searched that Starbucks address to confirm that that seemed like legitimate information. And what I found was it looks like there's two different addresses in the same vicinity. So I
Oh,
do think that that specific Starbucks that we found is closed in terms of that individual location, and it
okay.
might have opened up down the street. Now, I didn't verify that we had the existing new opened business inside of our business directory, but I'll show you kind of what I searched here. So here's that Starbucks. I searched this address for Starbucks. And then what I found in Google is that it has the address of 6801 Dempster
Yeah, I
instead
think
of
that's the one.
6763. So I think they might have had a location, maybe seemed kind of like maybe inside of a different business or next to a business. And then it might have just moved down the street to that 6801 Dempster location.
Got it. Neat. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, are there any final or any other questions for Jordan here?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Jordan. Thanks so much for hopping on Zoom with us and showing us the ropes. And yeah, obviously, if you have any questions, as Jordan pointed out, there is a chat here on A to Z because I know some of the functions get a little granular even for me. So you can always ask them in live chat, and of course you can always stop by the library or give us a call, and we're happy to help you help you get whatever data you're looking for out of it. So thank you so much for your time, Jordan. And I guess if that's everything, I will end the meeting, folks.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Have a
Thank
good one,
you.
everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.